Well, yeah, I mean, think about it, right? The stand-in is supposed to be there to fill in the bits of the team that you're not actually, prepared, or that you've lost in transition, But this one, the fact that they've got a coach standing in for the stand-in suddenly means you've got to replace even that element, and it's like, oh dear. Singularity are really in the pits. Unfortunately for them, the loot bet odds still kind of keep it at relative evens. Of course, you saw the numbers there on screen, 2.75, and the money line here for Singularity side. If you want to take advantage of those odds, you got a loot bet through the banner below the Twitch channel. Take advantage of the 10 free CSGO spins and €100 bonus for your deposit. It's the T side star for Singularity out to bo1 to kick things off. Very spread out here for ESPADA on the defensive.
Oh, they know too. Look how quickly they know that it's a B-side play. Straight away, they're already starting to push down from mid. 3-man stack over at this B bomb side. They don't have a lot of counter utility, only that single flash, but Dima. Okay, well, they know straight away. They could just stack everyone at B.
Well, smoke down towards Cross. HE remaining here for Tobiz, and they've got 4 players set. He's backing off towards the second mid Cross. He may look for a pitfall back to the apartments and get more information. He's got 2 players caught in the rotation. Here they come. More headshots found for Dima. 2 shots, 2 kills. Not quite a third one going his way. Gets dinked down to 8 HP and should get overwhelmed. He's drawing their attention away from the bomb site, though, so that allows the 2 players that are sat there to just sit pretty and wait for them to come to them. 50 seconds, Singularity going to start refacing to the B side, but Tobi's going to get challenged by Patsy next, takes him down, and Remoy and Cellray 4-on-2 for them. It's not looking good.
It really isn't. It all got shut down as soon as that information came through. Singularity, a 2-on-4. They've got the bomb on their back, but even just trying to get into this B bomb site is going to be a difficult task. A dig start trying to tap away. Rotations are quite slow at the moment. They're not sure whether they're going to back off. Finally, they can start to rotate a 3rd player in a Finnegan, but Singularity are running out of time. They need to commit.
And 16 seconds to the clock. Remoy around the corner. Glock taps up. Dexter gets Cellray, and Patsy gets Remoy. 1 casualty sustained. And that is a pistol going the way of ESPADA. The CT side obviously favored for both teams in this context, so having a good start already for the Russian core, and Singularity just kind of getting wrecked as time went on.
I'll tell you what, that was so impatient coming out from ESPADA. They didn't see anything towards the top of bo1. They didn't see anything over at mid. They go, right, we're just going to run down. Just get Demon to just lock them out. A Singularity, unfortunately, as soon as they were all spotted towards bo1, that round was over from there. A no bomb plant means no force to come through, and, well, the SMGs, there is quite a lot of them out for this CT side.
From our standing, Tobiz crosses out into the apartment's boiler entrance. A smoke down from Finnegan, keeping it held back. It's Dima wrapping back around. Look at the confidence on this ESPADA side to even go this far for it. Sophic gets 1, tons of damage to his second. Dima comes up with a frag, and the FAMAS gets traded back as Finnegan is the only player on the CT side to fall. Patsy enters through boiler, gets a kill. Dima swings in alongside Sophic, and then Dima gets Cellray in the long apartment corridor. So 2-0 for ESPADA. And Singularity, I mean, they're up for a bye, but so far they have been wrecked.
They have been so far. ESPADA have been really aggressive on the city side. They're trying to get in their face to their opponents. They're putting a lot of pressure on. And I really like the intent to start things off, especially when you've got those SMGs out. You really want to be trying to take some close quarter engagements rather than some long fights. Get those MP9s up close to try and get that immediate headshots and the immediate kills. ESPADA up 2-0. Now, Singularity will be able to get the AKs out straight away. Sofix with the Jiggle Peak does get a bit of information out, but look at the banana control coming in immediately from the round started.
I mean, not really much the Singularity can do to challenge this either. They're just going to kind of concede it and do some damage through smokes. And yeah, they'll get Patsy down to 45, which is a start here for the AKs, but just losing that banana position means you can't set up for the B-side play. They do catch Dima, though, so that's 1 frag found. And again, over-aggression finally getting punished by Singularity. They need to do this more.
And what we actually saw there from ESPADA is that they rotated a 4-man A setup and just had a single player to get on top of that broken wall, but Castle's able to take an instant kill. And from there, ESPADA go, right, do we want to try and gamble stack this B bomb site and keep 3 players here? It looks like the call that's going to be made. A Singularity, they're making a lot of noise at B.
They are. Smokes up. Reload, trying to force out a peek from someone. Still got Sophic set with the SMG flash. Still keeping blind, smoke down. Still managed to do some damage to Remoy. M4 getting tapped up here towards the flower pot boost. Patsy's still at the back of the bomb site. And Castle's not checking that position. It's Remoy there with a trade. Doubling up on Sophic as well. So 4-on-2 with the FAMAS and the M4 in check. And I think they might save these weapons. Their majority of players on about 3,000 or more. So holding on to these rifles and the players that can't afford the buy will equate to rifles in round 4.
A very good round from Singularity. It starts off with them getting that opening pick towards Banana. They make a lot of noise and it allows the gamble stack to go out at B, but they get some fantastic entries. They trade out really nicely. Castle's the only one that goes down. And okay, Singularity with a pretty simple piece over to that B bomb site, not using a great amount of utility, just trying to get those AKs to open up. And ESPADA, now considering how many SMGs they still had in that last round, they sort of took that as a bit of a bonus. They'll be able to get a buy going into the next, no problem whatsoever. May even try and get that AWP out if they want to.
Possibility. Again, main thing about saving these rifles is the fact that everybody can afford a weapon and a main rifle, of course, for the CT side. Finnegan for Mars, but for everybody else to mention, AWP setup, double AWP in play, M4, and indeed, I believe that is, no, actually not the double AWPs. I thought Sophic bought a second one, but alas, M4 passed back to him by Dexter. And that means we'll have a majority sets of utility here. 2 players on 2 sets in Patsy and Sophic, so it's not the most ideal sort of setup, but it is capable against what Singularity have brought to the table. No AWP for them. Dexter playing initially into the short position on the AWP phase. It's Remoy, however, allow a chance to peek up to the broken wall. Players jumping over as Tobias does get Dexter and kick things off. So opening picks are going the way of the AKs here.
It seems like for ESPADA, these sort of aggressive faces are not working out in this round and in the previous. So they need to sort of go back to the drawing board and sort of say, right, how do we want to position ourselves in the early game? Because we are constantly losing these opening fights. We're doing a hell of a lot of damage. You can see 3 players on the T side that are quite tagged up, but it's not the kills that they're looking for.
A minute to the clock and Singularity gaining a man and HP advantage over the majority of players here. Patsy on 100 is the only player that's actually untagged so far in this round. Singularity, Molotov's down, smoke's coming in. Dima is forced back a little bit. Sophic and Castle do get out, well, Selray actually takes out his own teammate, so that's not a very good sign. 4 versus 3 situation, the plant can be secured. And ESPADA slow rotating to this. It feels like they don't really want to go for this retake. It's too difficult towards B site, and yes, they will fall back. So good start with the pistol conversion from ESPADA, but when the rifles come out, Singularity come alive.
Yeah, Singularity looking pretty decent at the moment. These last couple of rounds have looked very strong. The ones have got the rifles out, they're starting to come into their own. And you looked at their setup coming out from ESPADA. Now, maybe if Dima was quicker to rotating to B, then they could have thought about it. But even for Patsy, he's so far away, they go, no, there's just no real way into this site. We don't have a lot of utility. We're in a man disadvantage, and they're going to be giving up their lead. It's going to be tied up now, 2 rounds apiece. And ESPADA, you've got to think, you know, going into this, they've got a lot of advantages. Singularity are playing with a coach. Although it's still early days, it might be a good option to go for a tactical pause and just kind of take a breather to sort of regain this control.
The rifle saving allows a rebuy to come in from ESPADA here. So one SMG for Sophic. So again, a couple limitations here for the CT camp. Now, actually, Singularity done a better job of building the economy base for them. $4,000 on the rough high end. This Dexter, however, opening things up with the kill on Selray. SMG of Sophic still sitting on top of the sandbags. Might drop in. He falls out. The Molotov is going to get hurt, potentially taken out here. Blind sprays come through, and Tobias is the man that gets Sophic in the end. So 1-for-1 trades as they establish banana control. Even more presence coming in from the CTs as Dima. Is he really tempted to face this far forward? He'll get punished for it, and Patsy will find a trade back.
Oh, Patsy's got to fall back. He needs to try and defend. He needs a bit of help, but the rotations aren't coming through just yet. And finally, Finnegan's starting to make a bit of a move, but the T's, it's almost like they're second-guessing themselves. They're kind of slowing down their presence over to this B bomb side. They've still got 2 smokes to work with, and if they can pressure this single defender of Patsy, they can get an easy bomb plant and an easy round victory, but they need to take him down.
Smoke with a gap. Patsy makes his way forward, taps through, takes out one. Trade back from Tobiz, makes it a 3K. And a bomb plant in the open here. Finnegan nade on position towards the Coffin's plant, but no one is there to receive the damage. Got to swing in on Tobiz, get this headshot pretty quickly because the AK is ready for him. Ooh. And Finnegan wins the fight. Nikos back towards a 1v1 now. Got a frag high against Dexter with the AWP. 2 flashes and a nade, and a defuse kit to his name. Best to swap out to a automatic weapon if possible, but now he's going to know where the last player is. Jump facing, AWP ready for a contact. The jump round the corner wins the fight. And the third goes the way of Singularity.
Okay, that was actually really well played coming out from Nikodos. Great 1-on-2. Even to jump over that AWP to sort of see if he can bait out the shot. And while Singularity, they're coming into this game with a lot of firepower at the moment. Certainly coming up on trumps in this T side. And ESPADA, after what was 2 very deadly rounds to start this map off, they've kind of gone very quiet. This was the first time in quite some time we even saw an opening pick from Dexter. But outside of that, it was shut down, and so is this round, Jay.
Ooh, hold the phone, maybe not so much. Dexter and Finnegan coming up with good frags,
no.
and they continuing to keep it pretty even. 2-on-2, but finding one of the pistols get caught off. Dima still frags back. If he catches the last man, no. Cellray shuts it down just in the nick of time and keeps the round alive for Singularity, but finally some major damage coming in on the board. It won't quite force the eco coming through in the next round, but you'll see where the economy damage will be done here to the T-side camp. AKs, AWPs, standard sets of the utility all have to get brought back down. The rifles coming in for ESPADA on the back of their loss bonus. We'll see their own 4x2 contest it here. $300 for Castle. It's not exactly a confident buy from Singularity.
I'll tell you what, that was a lot of damage done in that last round. This time around, ESPADA's kind of changed it up over at B. Singularity have taken top Nada control pretty much every single round relatively easily. This time around, they're going very aggressive, leaving a single player here of Dima with the rotate of being able to bring 4 players to A. Singularity, again, they have not really been silent on this T side. They've been making a lot of noise, and that's giving Dima a great opportunity to start to backstab Ramoy. He's holding the angle, Dima! Oh, the timing's perfect!
Just caught looking the wrong way at the perfect second. That's a kill. And Tobiz has made his way up towards bracket, so he has some contest. Nikodos. The AWP keeping his eyes on the back just in case they want to swing out even further. Dima has fallen away to play contact on that banana position. Got incendiaries down, jump facing as standard. Flashes will force Dima back a little bit, but 4 players still held towards his A defense against Singularity.
And they're just trying to bait out some rotations, see if their coach can at least pull some of the CTs over at B. And Patsy's thinking about rotating, so it's going to make this A defense a little bit weaker, but there's still 3 players here. Running out of time. Singularity, they've got to make a move, Jay.
Very, very short here. Very little utility. 2 smokes, a couple flashes as well that flash around the corner. Incendiary to respond. So we've got another one down there and everything. Smoke to try to keep them suppressed. Tobiz falls down to the AWP. They jump face. Castles falls next. Finnegan still got control in the corner. 5 seconds to get a bomb plant. They're held out. They're falling away. Trying to save themselves. The Singularity took too long to get that execution together. And ESPADA will bring us back within 1.
That's a weird round. That's a poor round from Singularity, and it seemed like that pressure that came out towards the bottom of Banana kind of took them off guard. But I suppose that the viewers, what isn't going to take you off guard is these fantastic codes from Hellcase, which they're giving out over the entire Malta Vibes, Malta V and Malta V15 to get a little bit of cash in your wallet and a 15% refill bonus. It just took too long, Jay, and as soon as that incendiary went down, that round was pretty much over.
Absolutely, and obviously with that whole utility balance there coming in for the CT favor, forcing the issue pretty effectively. But once again, the opening kill will go the way of Singularity, straight down towards Banana. The nade response, however, from Sophic, Remoy and Cellray are very, very low, as is Tobiz pretty decently tagged up, so chances for trades later down the line. Oh, but look at Castle.
Ow.
Look at Castle. He snuck his way right around in towards CT spawn. He's not made information known to the CT camera, or at least no one could have heard that jump face. He's going to find everything. He's going to find absolutely everything in this round.
this play could pretty much destroy this entire round. Castle's got so much work to do. The thing is, though, he hasn't really been able to see anyone on the side, but his position's been seen. Oh, he finds one kill, but he needs to follow up, and he ends up getting two. They can just run into this B-bomb side. Demon's the last one left. That round is over. The timing on that, I don't know how that happened, because Patsy was rotating from library. It must have just been the worst timing in the world.
Indeed, it must have been, but it felt like he was already up to Arch by the time the rotation started coming through, so I'm not sure what really happened there. Either way, Castle doing massive work for Singularity, and obviously those two kills coming in, it almost fluffed it because he fired a shot and missed it on the one player that was back there outside of the entrance. But even so, recovered for two, players on Banana cleaned up, and this will be a fifth for Singularity. What a T-side coming out so far.
It's looked very impressive, and that was one of the first times we've seen sort of a lurk play. Singularity, a lot of the time, could just group together as a unit. We've seen it whether they go for the B site executions or the A play. They stick very close to one another rather than a very wide default. And we saw that from Castle. That was just such a sick play. They're even going to try and hunt down Finnegan. Oh, that's big. That's very, very big that he can't bring that M forward.
Yeah, the economy is going to get a little bit wrecked here for ESPADA due to the nature of the loss bonus being knocked back. I don't think they can justify a buy. They might go half-seas into this round to line up with Dima. Tactical pause coming in for ESPADA to discuss that prospect, but furthermore to figure out how they're going to shut Singularity down, because this is their CT side, their favored half, and they are not doing well.
No, they're really struggling at the moment, and what they're struggling with the most is obviously finding an opening pick. We've seen the AWP in the hands of Digster maybe once or twice, hasn't really found a lot of impact with it. And Singularity, they're just taking map control so easily. Banana just, other than when ESPADA go heavy Banana presence and they bring like 3 players to B and they take Nana control, outside of that, Singularity are finding a lot of map control over towards the top of the broken wall. They're finding a lot of apartments lurkers. ESPADA, they've got to just take this tactical and go, guys, like, we're just getting simply out-aimed at the moment and outclassed in these gun rounds.
Something's got to change. It's got to change relatively soon. AK's out, AWP's in, utility sets limited across the T-side board, but that's fine. I mean, they've already used a little bit to sort of get the entries and the map control together. And up against the pistols, you should expect that Finnegan will pull something out of the hat, actually. I mean, to be fair, ESPADA have caught Singularity off guard the majority of rounds when they brought pistols to play. They'll find that one frag. The AK picked up by Finnegan, and now the stack up from Singularity will look to lean towards the B site. 2 players set with Sophic and Dima. CZ close, catches off a kill. Selway getting caught off guard of his own way, gets that frag regardless. Dima gets a 5-7 headshot on towards one man, not quite the second, and Remoy top of first box will get 2, almost 3. Now planting behind the first box, safe 2-on-2 retake for the CT cam. Dexter with the AK can do something to work with here, but it all comes up to him to try and open up the site.
A lot of damage been done already, but can they follow up? Off Fangle coming out from Moy, easy kill, and they compete together. Very good cleanup in the end from Singularity. But you're right, Jay, they're certainly struggling against kind of these eco rounds. They're losing a lot of players. And what that means is even with Singularity winning so many gun rounds, they haven't really had the opportunity of building up a very strong economy line. There's a few players that are under $1,000 in the reserve. ESPADA, all it's going to take is that one good round to kind of reset the money line. And it might be a round like this because Digster's got this AWP, but they need to find an opening kill. That's what ESPADA's going to be focusing on.
Utility sets, Patsy straight up and out with Nico around the corner. 13 points of health. They almost caught him. He just barely escapes with his life. And ESPADA this time going right in with that banana control. They were all blind, they were all tagged up, and finally something's going to go right for the early CT half. That's early CT round, I should say. Dexter gets Tobis, opens things up with the AWP. On the apartments area, frag down and plenty of kill potential as well for the CT camp. 1 minute and 10 for the hit to come through. The bomb is yet to commit, but they are slowly taking Bracken's control here.
They need to make sure they molly out this cubby position. There's actually a triple long setup coming out. Don't see that all too often on the CT side. And with cell rate going down, Singularity, they need to just brute force their fights back. They need to get some sort of advantage forward. Now, Demon's in a really awkward position because he can't really escape without getting picked off. The AWP not quite going to hit that shot. That needed to be an AWP kill right there.
Yeah, perfect flash in to allow the 5-on-3. They needed some sort of trade. The fact that they lost that, of course, means that there's very, very little of a chance. Not even a point of damage done to ESPADA so far. Singularity for this hit. They've got two players to deal with, Sopvik and Finnegan. One top of second box boost, one in first gap cubby. They both face in, or Remo's going to face towards them both. Simple crossfire locked on. Cellrate's head also being seen. Sopvik eventually connects that kill, leaving Nikodos with a 1-on-5 scenario. 13 HP, backstabs incoming. The Commodus with ESPADA back in contention, and Patsy will shut down a simple headshot, shut down a simple kill for a fourth to the board of ESPADA. But will they connect it together? Singularity have responded to every single round, mostly, that ESPADA have found when it comes to the rifles, so the force by coming back here for the T's, ESPADA will need to find a follow-up.
And that's what I was talking about. You know, that bank has not had an opportunity to build. You look at the buy coming out for Singularity in round 11. Yeah, they've got 3 AKs to work with, but there's also 2 pistols on the back of Castle and Cellrate. ESPADA, what a great round to be able to build some confidence in this best of one. And for Singularity's sake, they need an instant response. They can't let a team like ESPADA get some control and get some momentum forward.
Rush bang in towards Banana. We'll catch Dima off guard and counter Molotov to come through from the CT camp, though. So they'll ensure that nothing gets hit here. There'll be no map control today. They've got utility set up. Here's Nikodos and Remoy. For that opening headshot, they've seen one player cross, flashes back in, and Castle close here with the pistol. It is actually Finnegan and Remoy that trade things back and forth. Sopvik gets a frag back to a 4-on-3. AK facing, and the CTs lose out that fight. The Impulse still in the lineup, 2 and almost 3. But Toby's low HP. AWP swings in, finishes off the job. And Singularity will lose the connection round. Finally for ESPADA to get some confidence on CT half.
I haven't seen that smoke before, so that was a bit of a one-way for Dima to actually get on top of the sandbags and sort of give him a bit of an angle to work with. And I tell you what, I'm actually really impressed that ESPADA are able to lock it down towards Banana, because you've got to think out of anywhere on the map, that's probably been their biggest struggle in terms of the trading game, is around that top Banana position. And considering how well Singularity have done in a lot of these gun rounds, we're getting to a point where the scoreline can certainly be tied up now, Jay.
Wouldn't be surprised if it did, in fact. Eco pistols in. Haven't seen much of those from Singularity. Haven't seen much success from them at Singularity, so... Was ESPADA in this context? I might be able to give it a bit of credence, but a lack of Kevlar, lack of utility. Only got that firepower on the Eagles and the P250s to work with. And already just facing in a standard. Dima getting at Castle first. Dexter. Ready for contact, facing the Eagles up, trying to take out Patsy next. Ooh, they do find the AWP. That might find an entry here, actually. There's 2 players that could get overwhelmed. They've got to get these frags relatively quickly. Speedway also contested, and there's a CT back up at the spawn area to ensure that Toby doesn't do much with his position, but it all comes out to timing here.
It really does. They need to try and bait the CTs into over-aggressing and into that Speedway position. Tobiz into the 3-on-3. This is now 2 rifles picked up on the T side.
Something to work with, and they're almost going to give Cellrate his chance. Finnegan shuts them both down, though. Patsy gets Tobiz, ensuring he can't do any more damage. They just about recover that situation, but that could have looked pretty deadly for Singularity had they been given enough room to breathe. And, you know, if that AWP landed shot especially, then we could be looking at a very, very different round here. The AK's out for Singularity. A bit of a hard buy into round 13 with 6 all on the board. ESPADA, a real good chance of turning a lead back.
Singularity, I think they need to go back to the aggressiveness towards Banana. We haven't really seen it come out the last few rounds. It seems like the pressure's just been minimalized on this T side. Oh, great shot coming out from Remoy. They're really limiting the amount of opportunities Dexter's getting with this orb.
Patsy Smoke, AK downstairs. It's going to go with a spray back from the first player. Not quite the second. Cellray finds a trade. Smokes are up to try and siphon them into the Speedway area, and indeed they get the bomb down. 3 on 3. ESPADA have back up towards that pit position. Smokes in. So long as they can control Library, they can control the round. But as Patsy falls, suddenly that presence is taken away. Orb shots blind. Tobi's siphoned off, sprayed through. Dima is the man to find that kill. Nade's going to continue to keep them away from this bomb's position. A 2-on-2 scenario, and the blind orb shots almost connected. Remoy back over on the B bomb site. Might find a backstab, but Sopvik's already accounted for this. He's ready for contact. He's ready for the kill, but he won't win the fight. It's all on Dima now.
Ooh, this is all mind games. Dima's got to make a choice here. Does he over-aggress or does he stay around the bomb? Now, he's actually going to try and backstab the A bomb side. This is an opportunity of taking down the AWPer, and he'll know that Remoy's low. He's going to wait. What? He's going to wait?
No.
You're kidding me!
He's looking for info. He's looking to catch the both of them off guard. He doesn't know that Archer's been invaded just yet. He's seen him now. That's going to cost him massively. As Nico wins out the fight, wins out the round for Singularity, just maintains the lead. And all that patience could have got so much, but it was a risk. And the risk came to fruition.
Oh, that's awkward. Oh, he waited. You can see what Dima was trying to do there. He realizes the fact that Remoy's over at the B bomb site. Sophics can give him that information. Maybe he's like, I've hit him for 50, 60, so he knows that he's quite low. And he's just trying to play. He's trying to play a really sneaky sort of position, and I'm so surprised Nico turns around. He must have just got a pixel of information.
That would be enough for them here. Singularity back on the offensive, going to drive them out of Banana. Get the Mach 10 on Cellray to try and face forward. And he can do a lot of damage with 4 players, being without head Kevlar. Going to get in on the right individuals and try and take down that AWP if he can. Massive value to be gained out of that SMG if he did. For now, though, it is contact played up to Banana, back out to mid into the A bomb site. Smokes down, nades on. Damage going to be sustained by Finnegan. Still got Patsy here at 100. Going to be the main anchor player of the site. Smokes out the Molotov coming through from Singularity as they look to make the hit happen in the next minute or so. Flashes in, Mach 10 just as blind as Patsy is actually, so Castle will actually get taken out completely blind. Remoy comes up, Toby deals with Patsy next. 4 versus 3, and the plant should be secured here with no real way back in for ESPADA. They might look to save.
They have to save. They can't go for this. There is no way that ESPADA are going to go for this. They realize the fact they're going to have no money in the next round. At least if you bring onto 3 weapons, you'll have a chance of getting a decent buy through. I tell you what, Jay, they're actually positioned like they want to go for this retake. I'm not liking this.
I'm not liking it either. So much to be thrown away on such a hard buy as well. But eventually they do fall back and have some sense about it. ESPADA going to concede the half to Singularity. 8 rounds on this T-side board to 6 of ESPADA. 1 more to get the 9-6 half, and that would set Singularity up for a great city performance. And with ESPADA being in this low economical position, like the buyback's going to be so harsh for them. And into the last round, it's going to be a tough one.
It's very surprising to see Singularity coming out and sort of giving us a performance that is unexpected. They're looking really strong at the moment. If they close this out 9-6, you've got to think they've got a lot of confidence going into that second half. And I've got to be honest, even for Castle, you know, yeah, he's not putting up the biggest amount of numbers at the moment, but it's not as if it's an anchor at the moment for this team. They're working around their coach really nicely. And even for ESPADA, you look at the buy and you think, man, they just wish they had the full M4s and the AWP up.
Set out to the Banana control. Out towards the broken wall initially. Sopvik backed up by an AWP. Flashed in. Got to get a kill. And indeed he gets that 1 frag. Cellray trades by Dexter. Sopvik comes up with 2 though. Remoy turns it to a 3-on-3. Now Dima falls back, the lone holder of the B-bomb site. Would he call for backup? Well, his 2 teammates are back over on A short, so it looks like the rotations will be long if they come through at all. A peek towards mid may get the info they need, though.
Oh, they're not going to do it. Yeah, you're absolutely right. If they peeked down mid, they would have got all the information. Okay, we haven't seen anything. Let's gamble stack up B. And it's going to take him a little bit longer, but Patsy's now being able to clear out the apartment, so this can force the rotation out from Finnegan. The thing is, though, the T's have already committed towards the top of Banana. The CTs need to get this rotation on now.
Smokes up, Molotov's down. Face in, Finnegan gets the double nade! The damage done helps him out, and that might turn the tide back for ESPADA. Nico, though, blind through the smoke, locks on and shuts down Demon X. Face in towards Banana. Is he gonna get a 1v3 clutch for this? He's seen the smoke, he knows where Finnegan's at now. Bomb plant faked, 3K for the winner of this next fight. 10 seconds, Finnegan's just gotta wait to go for retake. In the midst of the smoke, the plant will come through. Swing out from the M4, makes a lot of noise. Now they know exactly where he is. AWP facing, all down the timing, connecting out one shot, he misses it. And falls back behind the coffins area. Molotov going to try force him back out of position, rotating back towards the CT, sticking the defuse. Finnegan's on it. Nico can't see him. He catches him. Has he won the round? Oh my God, he has. Singularity to the last tick. Just secure the 9th.
That was milliseconds. That was absolute ticks. I thought he had that defuse. Nikodos, let's just say how close this was. Like, what even is that? Fakes out the bomb plant so many times to give him some fights. How close was this? Oh my goodness.
There. That was right there. That was like a pixel or two.
Wow.
Oh my God. Wow. I genuinely did not even know if he got the kill in time.
Yeah.
Well, best of 1 upsets are possible. Singularity certainly proving that here. 9-6 of the half. The odds have gone back their favor. And the pistol round is coming up with damage being done to Remoy, but Dexter and Patsy all the same. 53 and 47 versus 34 in the CT camp. And ESPADA looking to utilize that CIS aggressive force that is so well known in this region to try and turn this map back their way.
It seems like you can never sleep on the Danish teams. Unfortunately for ESPADA, now they've taken top Banana control. They have the opportunity of going to B, but they're now starting to make some presence over to brackets, and this is just a gut feeling. They're trying to show a little bit of presence out of both sides of the map. Now, if they commit B, this is actually a really good gut feeling because there's only a single player here. There's a 4-man stack on A from the CT side.
Minute 2, the clock, smoke down, Sopvik going to try set his teammates up. Finnegan boosted top of the broken wall with a Molotov set towards the back lines. And here they go, only Castle standing by, taking blind shots and doing some damage, sure, but needs backup to get here right now because they have taken control of B. The bomb plant will be secured. It will be a 5-on-5 retake. Singularity having the kit and a major HP advantage, but the majority of the players here. Castle getting one, traded back by Dexter on a 4-on-4 now. USP's recovered, but the majority of the CTs still held back to the spawn. Taps up, flashes in. Toby's keeping his eyes on as Dexter gets cell rate. Remoy turns it back around. Block set to the crossfire. Nico and Remoy taking it right onto the man advantage. Finnegan left alone out to Banana. Sees where that bomb's been planted. Sees that there's nobody on it. Remoy takes face. That's a good headshot for the first player. Needs a second player, but no. Nico shuts him down just like he did in the last round. And Singularity will have double digits here on the pistol.
Oh my goodness, what a pistol round coming out from Singularity. A 5-on-5 retake, they set themselves up. It looked a little bit awkward considering how much information was seen towards CT. ESPADA had a player towards the sort of car position, so they realized the fact when they spotted so many players in CT that no one was coming from Banana, but just the opening kills on the retake were fantastic from Singularity. The USP's finding some really nice trades. Double digits up for the Danes in this best of 1, Jay. I can't believe what we're seeing at the moment from Singularity.
Oh boy. ESPADA have had it rough since the word go, and it seems like it may come up to a very awkward sort of stance towards the end of this map up. Reinvestment obviously will come through with that bomb plant bonus, and look at the AUG set here. Nikodos ready for contact against Emo, wins out that fight. So with an SMG, pops out a cubby, does a ton of damage to Emo before falling. So left towards Toby's on site. If he can get this pistol player down, Might be able to do quite a lot with this. Seeing Sophics breaking through his back, doing damage to the second man, not quite the third. So 3-on-2, Singularity, an SMG and an M4, but a large HP advantage to work with. Do they go for this?
They have to. Like, yeah, saving onto 2 weapons, it's decent, but I don't know. Like, it's a tough call to make. You look at the fact that, like, okay, they've been able to upgrade to a Galil. It's decent, but at the same time, you never want to be losing an anti-eco like that. ESPADA, they just got raw entries. That's all it came down to. They were peeking off each other's contacts. They were swinging out from long, and Singularity were never getting the advantage.
You know, all the trades going the way of ESPADA. And while there was a lot of potential set up in the SMG play out from the cubby corner, like you imagine if you got that kill on Demo, would that be a very different story here for the Singularity camp? But in the end, reality is 10-7. And ESPADA finally getting some decent confidence here. Can they follow it up? That's been their key issue throughout the majority of these rounds. Follow-ups off the back of wins here. And Singularity going to take a tactical to try and figure out how they're going to shut this down. Do they potentially let it go, let them get within a couple more rounds of the lead? I mean, they're on single round loss bonus here, so it's kind of like double eco status for the players that went down. It might make sense just to force the issue, let them get towards close to 9 before really bringing the fight.
You have to force the issue here. Yeah, you're right. With the single round loss bonus, makes it really difficult, and that's often a single element at the moment that can kind of just destroy teams mentally, is the fact if you win Pestle and then lose that second round, it just destroys your economy, and it's very difficult to be able to at least bring weapons forward. And it seemed like we had a tactical, now a technical. So a bit of a moment of respite. And for ESPADA, like, you know, brutally honest with these guys, they've not shown, I would say, the class that they had before the player break, because it has been 5 weeks since we've seen them in an official. And yeah, look, it is still early stages. We've only just got into the second half. But you look at these two teams and you look at Singularity with a coach being their 5th, you think that ESPADA really should just sweep the floor with them. But they're finding this a very difficult challenge at the moment.
Yeah, no, I mean, even considering some of the players that, you know, have the pedigree, like Dima, for example, he's the top fragger, and that's fair play to him, obviously being in a really good spot. But guys, you highlighted like Dexter, for example, in the AWP. Only 8 kills so far. It's not really been, you know, a great performance on the numbers for him. Finnegan's been having a great game. I give credit to him. You know, it's certainly the top element in my MVP pick for the matchup, because, you know, he's top fragging even despite ESPADA being down so many rounds. And this was ESPADA's matchup to lose. You know, Singularity, they have a completely destroyed sort of lineup with so many players getting poached from by other teams. You know, a stand-in who couldn't even show up to the match they're playing with their coach. You know, like, that's the situation that Singularity are in. So ESPADA to lose to that, like, that just goes to show how you know, how far they have fallen out since that player break, as you mentioned. And it's just not looking good here. The rebuy from Singularity at least will come through to a force-up, but only those 2 rifles will be the main weapon. So, again, it should be a round that ESPADA can win, but if they lose it, at this point, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, look, we have seen some of these kind of weird, wacky rounds in Tier 2 Counter-Strike in recent times. So, for Singularity's sake, let's just see how much damage they're able to bring to the table. ESPADA, for them, they're looking at this round thinking, okay, what we need to do is just make sure we're winning out this round, keeping as many players alive as possible. Look at this boost coming out from Roy. Huge off angle.
I think at the first face and the first kill, and they'll do damage to Sophic at least. That'll start things off on the right foot. Smoke down towards CT cross. Molotov to respond to it, ensure that the push can't come through from ESPADA. The Bombers yet to commit to the site just yet, but they have got the player in second mid, so you can rotate, pick it up if necessary. And here they go. Dima making his way out. Smoke down, there's a big gap in it that allows Tobias to fall. Big mistake made by Singularity. 1 player dropping. Deagle next to go down. M4 of Remoy does swinging on towards Finnegan out CT in the construction area. AK recovered, and M4 can get picked up by a backup player in the Galil of Nikodos. So it's not exactly an ideal sort of conversion. They'll need to get rifles on all 3 players to go for this retake. There's a kit on Castle and a 4-on-3 for the CT side.
And they're just going to opt to go for the save. They've been able to pick up an M4. And no, you're certainly right there. That was a big mistake on the side. Now, pretty much, it looked like it was a bit of a one-way smoke. But whenever you're a T side and you see a gap in a smoke as soon as you're rounding the corner, you're just going to spam it straight away. And that's exactly what happens. Tobiz just gets taken down trying to look on the edge of it. ESPADA, two very different styles on the T side. Now, for Singularity, they were taking early map control, they were falling back, they were executing to the side very late into the round. Whereas for ESPADA, it was kind of like a bit of a double pump play to be. They put some early utility down and then just walked into the site without using further utility. And as soon as contact was made, that's when the second wave came through.
ESPADA is getting away with that little round here, way back in, an opportunity for this T-side camp. Singularity still 2 in the lead here on this defensive. You might see an opportunity or two present itself. But for this round, got the 2 rifles, the AK, the M4 just saved in. Naves up to try and do some damage early on. And yeah, they'll catch Finnegan for 57. But they'll also catch Remo having to force him forward. AHP burning alive. That's an AK taken right out. And one of the main weapons as well being dropped on the CT side.
So much damage came out. And, well, the CTs, they want to try and force the issue, but unfortunately not being able to find any kind of advantage. They trade back. It's still a 3-on-4. And for ESPADA, they could just walk into AJ.
They put the smokes down to make sure that they siphon off the rotations. They still left Dima back over in Banana for any aggressive CT face. It's going to take a swing out, potentially find a kill or two, and a spray back from Castle. Do some damage, but not find a pick on Supfix. So plant to be secured. They're falling back to the B site to save their weapons. They could get hunted by Dima if they overextend, or if he wants to try and go for it here. No nade on Selray. If he was able to put that HE behind the broken wall, that would have been a nice kill. But Nico just respond, take him down. 3-on-3 scenario, but a 9th for ESPADA. And finally, they're going to start looking good.
Yeah, they're starting to build up a bit of self-confidence at the moment. They need to get that AWP in the hands of Dexter. You're absolutely right. You made that point a few rounds ago that he's having some really low numbers. It's he's a player that I look at ESPADA and I never really see going quiet. That's actually a great shot coming out from Nikodor. So they end up doing a fair bit of damage, taking a couple of players down towards the end there. But yeah, certainly a player that is normally very consistent. So the fact that he's struggled in this matchup is a bit of a worrying sign. But they do have the opportunity of trying to get him the AWP on the T side if they want to go for it. But no, Jay, they're just going to go for the 5 AKs instead.
Meanwhile, the M4s on the AWP to back up the CTs with the AKs. And Tobiz and Selray. Singularity now with their best chance at one of these good rifles. And flashes in, AK swinging AWP out as they look for the kills here. Shots not connecting. They're seeing one player, actually not even seeing past him past the smoke. Dima just waiting for that orb to reface, but it will not be seen here. Singularity have taken their aggression. They're falling back to passive defensive. They know to play the objective, and that's exactly what they'll do.
That was a very aggressive opening stance coming out for the Danes, but straight away, after they find nothing, they just decide to fall back, play a little bit more passive instead. Now, with the aggression coming out of A, we didn't see anything out at B, and this means that both the site defenders at B are very deep into the site, allowing some very easy map control to come away from top Banana. And look at that from Dima. They can now continue on to B after that opening kill.
Frag out, M4 turns it around on Sophic, drops that bomb to a 4-on-4. ESPADA got around that corner, try to look for that pick back, and indeed Dima does catch that player off. Nico does get an AWP kill, but Dima responds with a 3K all in all. Bomb still out in the open, he's going to hear those footsteps as well. He knows they've rotated towards the B site, so they can just pick that bomb up, plant it down. He will look for potentially a couple of kills back from the exit frags. Castle at least trade to 2-on-2, but they're not going to bother for this retake. They're already back on the A site.
And that actually wasn't Patsy's play at all. Patsy's play was to try and backstab the CTs rotating to B. And he's there towards long, and he goes, hang on a minute, they're not even rotating, they're just saving. So he tries to see if he can take at least one player down, but it's not going to be the case. And Singularity, after we saw some monster rounds in that first half on their T side, especially the gun rounds, it seems like it's just all really slipped away, and it was off the back of losing that anti-eco in the second round of that second half, Jay.
Well, statistically, the CT side of ESPADA is their favored half. Right now, it is looking like the T side is where they are picking up the pace and finally bringing the fight back to the Singularity camp. 10-all on the board, even standing, and they were in this position before in the first half. Can they finally push us over the edge to take a lead back from Singularity once again? 2 AK saved, 3 N4s in, not quite AWP standard for the SNG camp. ESPADA spread out on their defaults towards mid, second mid, and banana, mostly in the banana and mid positions. Held back with the shoulder baits, the nades on. Damage done initially to Remoy. It's very passive from their lineup, though.
Yeah, look, not looking for any kind of aggression. They don't want to get punished. I think that's what they're sort of thinking about at the moment is let's just play deep into the sides. Let's not overextend. Now, the only problem with playing that kind of a style in a gun round is that you give away so much map control. You have a look at from ESPADA, they've got 2 players around that mid area. Top banana has been taken pretty much every single round. And for Singularity, they don't have any information at the moment, Jay. They don't know whether they're stacked up towards B. They don't know if it's an A play. They have no info because they have not got aggressive.
50 seconds to the clock. Castle, Tobiz, and Remoy set back to the B bomb site play. The bomb is out towards top banana. Is there going to be a commitment here from ESPADA? It looks like it won't be, at least not right now. They put smokes out towards the A side, trying to bait in rotations. They will pull one player away from this construction and church area. 25 seconds, ESPADA need to go now. Smoke down towards the CT cross. Castle's not going to be able to do much except for flashbang his teammates and try and stall for time. He'll do that for only a moment's respite. Second box burning. Tobiz flashed out as well. T-side now finally going for the hit. 10 seconds. If that bomb drops, it's going to be game over, and Tobiz gets 2. Lines up a third pick, not quite a fourth, but he's done his damage. Finnegan and Sopfit can't get the bomb down in time. And this will be an 11th for Singularity. Again, just about defending the lead.
Oh, that's a really good round from Singularity. And for ESPADA, that fake, they didn't really commit with it, right? We saw 2 smokes going down at A, but it's like that they halted. Rather than pushing forward out towards long and actually showing presence, all they showed was utility. And we saw for Castle, he was thinking about rotating, but he stayed around in CT. The counter utility over at that B bomb site was phenomenal. It was absolutely excellent. It slowed the play down massively. And Singularity, this is finally a chance to regain this control.
Flash in for Finnegan. Taking some damage for the Molotov put out here to try and stop the very aggressive T-side pushes. Remoy gives up his position towards sandbags and incendiary to try and keep them held back at bay. Further utility coming in to try and force the issue back, and they will force the CTs away from position in the end, so there's always that. Singularity taking damage, still holding off the defense, disallowing the early execution from ESPADA, so they've achieved what they wanted so far.
Triple stack here again for the CTs at B, but this time around, it's a bit more of an aggressive stance without utility. Sopfix and Dima, they're just walking. They need some early contact, and there it is. Great opening kill to come through. Now, they have committed on this in the past, but Dima's got an angle to work with. What a great frag from Dima.
Now it's all left to Remoy. Trying to challenge Dima here. If he goes down, it will be round over, but they're going to lean in towards the A bomb site, but the last 2 CTs are still held back. Tobiz and Cellrate here towards Pit and Mini. Crossfire set. Trying to keep their eyes on the apartments. No one's got short control. But Longmer certainly covered, so for ESPADA, make their way around here. Again, they're going to run the clock extremely low. This is what cost them in the last round. Will it cost them here again against the Singularity defense? It's AK set and ready. Ted shot, and Hellrate gets that kill. Flashes over, trying to make their way in. Graveyard, that's the bomb! Dima leaves it out in the open. The round is done. They can't get back to it in time. They're going to try and force back, keep Selway suppressed, and they'll do a decent enough job. They've got the plant down. I think they have. So 2-on-2 just coming through for ESPADA to recover, but they're siphoning off their back. They're going to cover off this mid-control, and Remoy gets the kill. Patsy, all that's left for ESPADA. 21 points of health. A hell of a clutch. But I don't think it's going to happen for this one, mate. The bomb is ticking. The CTs still have face. Cell rate tapping through. Patsy will see one in the back line, but that's Remoy with another fantastic headshot, another fantastic round for Singularity.
Disappointing. Very disappointing coming out from ESPADA. How they lost a 5-on-2 like that. I will never know. The fact that Dima's bringing that bomb up through sort of graveyard, like just bring that bomb to the side, get it planted. Even if you don't have to clear out pit and mini pit, just get that bomb down with how low the time is. That was a very poor round, and the crossfire between pit and mini pit worked out fantastically for Singularity. That's a round that they should have never have won, though.
No, absolutely. 12-10. And I have a feeling that, well, our question has been answered for this one, Dweg. Were ESPADA coming in off the back of their 5-week break as a refreshed and recovered team, or looking rough from lack of practice? I think we've seen the latter coming out for this squad so far. This is a bit of a disaster map-up. A disaster start in this group stage. Look to elimination match potentially for them, unless they can try and somehow pull it back from here. They are 3 rounds to go for Singularity to get to that map point. ESPADA 2 to try and equalize against them. It's Castle swings, takes Sophic, gets things started again for the defensive force.
Certainly a bit of a wake-up call coming out for the ESPADA squad. They need to get back onto the board, deal with this AWP.
Oh.
Great shot coming out from Nikodos. And ESPADA, what do they even do here? They've got 2 players over to A with the bomb, a single lurk at B, and they're just going to try and walk into the A bomb site once again. They've seen that bomb. This round's over.
Cell right to Castle, 2 simultaneous kills. Patsy, last player standing, 1-on-5. The confidence now on Singularity. This is not a map they should win. This is not a group they should win at all. No set of circumstances should see this team take a victory here against ESPADA, but here we are, 13-10 up. Awkward economy for ESPADA. This is going to be an eco. This should be 14 for Singularity.
Wow. And, like, if they did it with Flames, then I may have sort of said, oh, okay, like, yeah, maybe there's a chance of an upset. But the fact that they've done it with a coach and that they're hitting shots like this is unbelievable. This is impeccable Counter-Strike coming out for the Danes. And it seems like it's one AWP that's firing up against one that's not at all. Dexter, we really haven't, I don't even think, seen the AWP out for the T side at all. But Nikodos is hitting some really sharp shots at the moment, especially on this side. Oh my goodness!
Oh my god.
Through the corner of the boiler wall. Well, okay. Why not?
Finnegan will catch off Tobers at least, but Nikodos there for a 4K and a fantastic performance from him so far. You're going to get to 19 frags, 1 behind the top fragger of the CT side, and 3 behind the top fragger of the server, which is Dima. 22 kills, with Finnegan trailing behind at 18, and you got to imagine for those guys, considering the numbers they're posting, they probably must be feeling real frustrated at how this match has gone.
Probably, yeah. No, I wouldn't doubt them. They certainly have come into this flat-footed, and this is a big wake-up call to sort of say, right, we've come out of the player break, we need to get off to a good start, and it certainly has not come out again. They keep facing this AWP out from mid. Why they keep facing? If you're going to be able to pick out mid, get a flashbang or use the utility. The AWP is finding easy pickings at the moment on this CT side.
Nades on against Sophic and Remoy. Dexter already falling, as you mentioned, to the AWP. Crossfire set from the AKs, of which there are 3 in play, I should say. The CT camp, so much firepower for them right now. And Castle will boost his mate up. Finnegan's going to smoke down. See if Remoy can do anything and back up his His backline defense. Patsy set here. Smoke towards cross coming out very late, and Sophic and Patsy fall. Should have kept it close. Should not have given them the time of day to even get those picks. Castle will fall at least as Remoy makes his way up towards site, takes a face, takes a kill. Can't get Finnegan next, but he's in a 1-on-3. No matter how much he does from here, he should be traded back by Singularity. This should be map and match point for the Danish core.
Finnegan got so much work to do, faking out the bomb plant, but no overextensions coming through. Nick Doss with the AWP. Of course he hits that shot because he's feeling it at the moment. 15-10, and there's hardly any money. There is not a great amount of money to work with for ESPADA. And I tell you what, Jay, over the 6 weeks we've done so far, going into week 7, we have seen a lot of upsets in the best of ones, but Singularity to start it off for the opening match in Group A. What an unbelievable feat to even get to 15-10 up. They're looking for the 16-10. They're looking for the victory.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they got it right here. Look at this. Look at this confidence from Singularity. This is what ESPADA brought to their pistol in the first half as Remoy gets 3 kills. 2 trades come back for the CTs, but it's a 3-on-2 to their favor. And Toby is not allowing brackets access. Got a second player to back him up. Dexter's left alone. 1-on-3 clutch. And there's